everyone, Dom here, and this video is inspired by all of you that have been asking me how to get started playing the piano so that you can produce better and play better parts even if you have never had a piano lesson in your life. So today I'm going to share with you a very simple piano exercise / routine that really changed my life and made me a better pianist. And the great part is, anyone can do this, whether you've never played the piano in your life or if you've been playing for years. So whether you want to produce your first beats or if you want to play a piano concerto, this secret recipe will definitely be worth knowing. So let's dive into it. For this exercise, I have to give credit to my beloved piano teacher that taught it to me when I was still around 11 or 12 years old. He came from the French school of piano tradition that's known for its focus on refined touch, clarity, and coloristic playing, and they're big on finger independence and brilliant articulation. So I'm not entirely sure of the exact origins of this exercise, but all I can tell you for sure is that once I started practicing it, it improved my dexterity, my finger independence, my stamina, my control, and eventually speed. If you care about speed, it improved my speed dramatically. So let me show you how it works. So the whole principle of this exercise is that you have to place your hand and your fingers in the most natural position on the keyboard. And see my hand like this? When you place your hand on the keyboard, the most natural position is this one. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and C. This is not very natural for the human hand, because it kind of tilts, but this way, this supports your arm and your fingers in a very natural position, so there is no strain on your fingers. And you do the same thing mirrored on your left hand. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and C. So you just place your hands like this, and you make sure that, of course, you don't bend the tips of your fingers. This is the classic piano technique. And the most basic thing that you can start doing, we're going to get a little bit more advanced as we progress, is you just press every single key. So first your thumb, then your index finger, and so on and so forth. So you have to always have contact with the keys. Let's do it together. Index, middle finger, so that's the simplest way of doing this exercise. And then back. Okay, so it might seem very simple and it might seem very easy, but I promise you it's not. The trick here is to make sure that you don't lose contact with the keys. So if you see yourself doing this, something like that, or no, you don't want this. You have to be very focused and make sure that when you press one key, the other fingers rest really nice and calm on the keys. So again. Now, if you're a pianist, this is going to be easy for you. But I have to tell you, I've been playing the piano for a while before I learned about this technique, and I still found it challenging when I started doing it. Make sure that all your concentration is on your fingers. Let's make it a tiny bit harder. The next thing that you can do is you can do more notes, okay? So maybe. And if you do both notes, make sure they play at the same time so you don't get flamming. Or this, you will find already that is going to be way more challenging, especially if you try to keep your fingers on the actual keys without moving them. Especially the fourth and the fifth finger, they're going to be challenging. In order to get dexterity, and if you want these two fingers to be independent, this is going to require a little bit more work. And you know, when you see non-pianists playing, you see their fifth finger just flying around. So this is definitely something that you can work on, and it will help you tremendously. Now, why do we do all these things? This is exactly because we want to have dexterity and we want to have independence for all our fingers. Because if you don't have independence, then everything is going to be hard. And the next thing that is going to happen if you don't have the fingers to be independent from each other is that you're going to have strain on your wrist because you're going to try and compensate. So another thing that you need to be aware of when you're doing this exercise is that your wrist should be very, very relaxed. So if you're doing it and at some point you feel that it's stiff, just try and move it a little bit, you know, and see, is it flexible? Is it relaxed? If it's not relaxed, then absolutely relax and do this kind of movement, okay? You don't want your wrist to be stiff. A thing that my teacher taught me when I was playing really demanding pieces and I was straining my wrist and it would be very, very stiff, he would ask me to move my tongue, you know? Just move your tongue inside your mouth. And basically he was telling me, if you move your tongue, then your wrist will not be able to get stiff. And I don't know about you, but for me, this really, really worked. So if you're doing this, you know, just move your tongue while you're doing this, and you will see that your wrist is going to be relaxed and nice. You don't want to have carpal tunnel or anything like this. Now let's take it up a notch. I'm going to do thirds now, okay? So instead of going like this, I'm gonna go. Okay? And to be honest with you, I would recommend that you do it slowly. You know, I'm doing it very fast now, but I would actually take my time, concentrate, and do it slowly. Okay? I know it might seem a little bit boring, I know it might seem a little bit tedious, but trust me, it works. For me, it changed everything. I was doing this every single day before I started practicing. I did it on the last day before I played for my piano diploma, where I had a huge program, you know, with Chopin, with Beethoven, with Mozart, with Rachmaninoff, and contemporary music. It was a 2.5-hour program, but I still did this exercise before I went and played. It's exactly the same thing like with Anon, which is a book that contains exercises for warming up before you play, and many people recommend that you play the entire book before you actually go and play a piece on the piano. But to be honest with you, with Anon, you need to know how to read the score. You need to kind of have a little bit of training with piano. It's not something that you can open the book and start playing. You have to have a little bit of experience. But this, you don't need to have any experience. You don't need to know how to read the score. You can just do this like I show you here and gain dexterity. Now we're going to take it up a notch again. And this is going to get a little bit more difficult, but again, I would suggest you do this every single day and it's going to do wonders for you. This won't take you more than 10 to 15 minutes, you know, even if you do it very slowly. So it's really worth it. Now, before we move on, I would like to introduce you to the kind sponsor of this video, which is myself. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to support what I do here on YouTube, you can check out my courses at the Sigalas Academy. I have 3 mastering courses there and some more are coming up very soon. One about mastering in Cubase exclusively with Cubase tools, mastering in the box with all the best tools available today, and my hybrid analog mastering masterclass where I show you how to master with tasty analog gear. And if you're into producing and you want this massive modern 80s drum sound, you can also check out my modern 80s kit Max, which was just recently updated to version 2 with a brand new sequencer and more new features added to it. Now let's go one level up. Now what I want you to do is I want you to press all the keys down and keep them pressed, okay? So like this. And make sure you do this gesture with your wrists so that we're absolutely sure that they are not stiff, okay? We want your wrist to be floating. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to do the same thing, but with the keys pressed. So let's start with the first exercise. Lift your thumb. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Again, if you feel you're straining, 2, 3, 4. Don't lose contact with the keys. You don't do this. You don't want to go from a height. You want to keep touch with these keys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And index. And thumb again. See, if you ever feel that your wrist gets stiff, just move it a little bit. And then we're gonna do the rest of the exercises in the same way. 2 fingers now. 1, 2. Again, you want to make sure they fall at the same time and not... Okay, and that's gonna be a little bit harder, right? See, I did it. Make sure it's clean. Okay? And then we're going to do the thirds. So again, I'm pressing them and... See, I'm not lifting my fingers. I'm just lifting them as much as I need to lift them so that they still keep touch with the keys. You can do any variation if you want. So sometimes I like to do this kind of variation. So that's kind of difficult. And lift. And lift. That's very difficult. So if you feel that this is too hard for you and you can't do it yet, don't go there. So start with, you know, the simple exercises and then move up to the next level, because this can be very, very difficult, especially if you've never worked with your fingers and your hands before. It's like going to the gym. To be honest with you, this is exactly what it is. You need to train your fingers, your brain into coordinating all these things. But these are all muscles. You have to work them. You can't just go and play anything on the keyboard without exercising your muscles and making sure that they are agile. Like I said, don't stress your wrist. If you feel that something is too difficult, go back one step and just do the things that are okay with you for your level. After you do this exercise, you will feel that everything you play is gonna be so easy. I actually do this exercise and then I do the anon thing. Because I'm already worked up. So there you go, my friends. This is my secret weapon for getting those hands as agile as possible for piano playing. Whether you're going to produce a beat or play a piano concerto. So if you know how this technique is called, or if you use it too, let me know in the comments down below. And also share the techniques that you use for your piano playing. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, you might also enjoy this video where I show you the ultimate technique to play drums on your keyboard, or this video where I show you how to play realistic guitars on the keyboard. Keep making music, and I'll see you in the next one.